The famous Jewish philosopher Elie Wiesel once said that the implications and the applications of the Holocaust are universal. I believe that Ron Rettner is someone who understands this very, very deeply. The seeds of tonight actually began a year ago in Washington, D.C., where we held a similar event, and Ron insisted that we needed to bring this knowledge of the Albanian role during the Holocaust to New York City. And it was because of the early and substantial financial support of Karen and Ron Rettner that we are here tonight. Karen, I hope you have a chance to stand, and Ron, please come to the podium.
Well, I certainly want to, this would have also not happened without the tremendous effort of Joe and Shirley DioGuardi. You guys are amazing, and there are no greater proponents that I know of Albanian American, Albanian Jewish relations than Joe and Shirley DioGuardi, and I am forever grateful to you for your efforts and your friendship. The Albanian rescue of its Jewish population, as well as the thousands of Jews rescued from neighboring Kosovo and Macedonia, is a message to the world that genocide should never be tolerated, and a bold example of a small nation standing up to tyrants in defiance to protect a persecuted minority. The Albanian message resonates in our world and in our time, which cavalierly witnessed the Bosnian, Cambodian, Rwandan, and Sierra Leone genocides. The world callously ignored the ruthless, senseless, indiscriminate slaughter of entire populations, targeted only for their ethnicity, religion, tribalism, or nationalistic hatred. At this very moment in the Middle East, hundreds of thousands of Muslims have been slaughtered, and hundreds of thousands more are on track to be slaughtered, due only to their differing interpretations and historic practices of the same broad religion. To my mind, nothing could be more senseless than the killing of innocents for no reason except for their religion, ethnicity, or historic hatred. Oppressed by the Ottomans for 500 years, Catholics, Orthodox, Muslims, and Jews lived side by side, tolerating each other's religious beliefs and practices. The Albanian example so sharply contrasts with the Christian-Muslim bloodletting in countries like Lebanon, Egypt, or Syria. In defiance of the Ottoman rule, the Albanians survive by forging their own national code of conduct, ethics, rules, and laws, independent of and in contravention of their imperialistic ruler. The Albanian rescue of its Jewish minority was the historic outgrowth of its national character and honor and Albanian practice of protecting all Albanian nationals from outside persecution and oppression. Numerous psychological studies were undertaken during the Nazi war tribunals. The perpetrators of genocide tended to be rigid, intolerant, remorseless, cruel, violent, angry, filled with self-hate and irrational hatred of others, which enabled them to direct and target their hatred and violence on innocent, defenseless targets without remorse, compunction, or conscience. Having endured 500 years of Ottoman oppression, the Albanians first defied the Italian occupiers and then the Nazis. With its long history of defiance, the Albanians have the national courage and character to stand up to the Nazi bullies in protecting their Jewish citizenry from persecution and slaughter. The Albanian rescue of its Jews is a message to the world that each of us stand up against intolerance, hatred, and those evil forces fomenting senseless persecution and wanton killings of innocents. I have been repeatedly asked why, as an American Jew whose family was not directly impacted by the Holocaust, have I invested tens of thousands of dollars in disseminating the story and message of the Albanian rescue of its Jews. I am adamant that Albanians should be honored and recognized for their national heroism and individual courage in standing up to and defying Nazi bullyism and atrocities. As a citizen of the world, I abhor the senseless, wanton, indiscriminate persecution and slaughter of individuals and groups victimized for racial, religious, ethnic, tribal, and nationalistic religions. I am therefore hopeful that the Albanian message resonates in some small way in a world that turned its back on Nazi genocide and the myriad genocides of our time. I pray that the world comes to its senses and suppresses the senseless, needless hatreds which all too often have resulted in wholesale slaughter and genocide. I am proud and honored to carry the Albanian torch and message of tolerance and defiance. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.